crafters, this is Paulette. I am working on my Mother's Day projects and I've got a ton of cards made here, but I don't have anything. I've got only a couple that maybe reference baby, and I tried to cover all the social areas, and so I'm going to stamp up a few more with some baby stamps. But I have trouble always with all of this extra rubber that goes around the stamp, and I will get that halo where the ink actually gets on that, and then you stamp it on here, and it's frustrating. So I'm in the middle of trimming this one, and I just kind of take my scissors at a 45-degree angle where I can and just get the rubber. I'm not trimming the sponge at all, the cushion, and I'm just working my way around here. And then after you get done, when you stamp, you know, it doesn't hurt to stamp on a practice sheet. I'm not a big fan of wasting ink, but sometimes you do have to test, so it's okay to test and see if you got all the areas, because if you didn't, the ink's going to get on them and you're going to figure it out. So it might be worth using a little bit of ink to see if you got all of it, because I don't want to ruin my cardstock that I'm really working on, that I've prepared. So just trimming all of that out. Now, I like to stamp on a glass mat. I'm kind of a heavy-handed stamper. My Stampin' Up! Demo, she kind of teases me because I'm really heavy-handed stamper, and I always get that halo. I told her, I said, I trim all of my woodblock stamps, and I used to trim them with an X-Acto knife, which is neater, and it actually, you get the foam and the rubber at the same time. But that is so hard for my hands. I had carpal tunnel in my right hand, and when they lifted my lumbar area at the bottom vertebrae, it really changed some things in my upper back, where my whole spine had been sagging. And so I have these, I don't know, I have, my thumbs hurt. My thumbs feel like they're broken, and that's gone on for quite a few years. So this is much easier. I can control the scissors much easier than I can control the X-Acto knife. It's just a different, it's a easier pressure. So this works out better for me. I've already trimmed all of my clear mount. I used a whole bunch of them for my Mother's Day greeting card project. Some stampers like to stamp on a softer surface to get a better impression, like a magazine or a mouse pad. And I've done that. If I have stamps that have issues, some of the polymer stamps have issues. I won a fabulous stamp set from Stampin'UP, and it has the Eiffel Tower on it, and the Eiffel Tower does not print all the way when you stamp it. So I have to use a mouse pad or a magazine underneath it. And because it was a gift, I didn't feel like I could ask for a replacement. So I just had to figure out how to make that work. So I stamp with a mouse pad to get a good impression from it. But typically, especially for the detailed stamps, I like my glass mat. It gives me a really good impression. And if you just press down firmly, and I rock my stamps just a little bit, frontwards, front and back, side to side, and usually get a really good impression. That usually works out pretty good. So Alright, you get the idea, and it's not very pretty as far as the foam is concerned, but nobody's going to see it. I'm the one using it, so that's pretty good. Let's get a scrap. Let's just take a scrap and let's move all this out of the way. And we'll just do a test stamp. I've already trimmed the this adorable one 2x2. Let's just see how it does. Voila! Adorable! And no halo stamping, because there's no extra rubber for it to halo on. Now I may, I may end up having to come in here and trim out these places like this a little bit more, where there's extra rubber in there, and probably right here. But if I do, then I will address that at that time. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. And happy Mother's Day to everybody this week.